defense of Palestinians in Gaza and beyond, for being critical of the U.S. government and of the Israeli government. Those are the reasons why he was targeted.
Khalil is in America as a guest of America. That's what visas and green cards, which he has, are. He's currently in detention, pending deportation for violating the terms of his green card. I would argue the law is black and white on this. The government can move to revoke a green card if the holder supports or promotes terrorism.
When you come to the United States as a visitor, which is what a visa is, which is how this individual entered this country, as on a visitor's visa, okay, you are here as a visitor. We can deny you that visa. This is not about free speech. This is about people that don't have a right to be in the United States to begin with. No one has a right to a student visa. No one has a right to a green card, by the way.
With us now, Nadine Strossen, professor of law emerita at New York Law School, past president of the American Civil Liberties Union for 18 years, right? Welcome.
I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you very much. And I am far intellectually outclassed. We'll just start with that. I saw you nodding your head when the lawyers were talking and shaking your head when I was talking.
Yes.
So tell me where I'm wrong.
Well, I defend your right to your opinion.
Well, thank you.
Once you are in the United States, the Supreme Court has very clearly held that you are entitled to First Amendment free speech rights, and that includes the right to criticize the government, that includes the right to make offensive statements, that includes the right to engage in hate speech, and even to advocate violence. In 1969, in an ACLU case, I'm proud to say the Supreme Court unanimously held that you even have the right to advocate violence. The only thing that is not protected is intentional incitement of imminent violence that is likely to happen.
So the argument is that it does not apply differently to U.S. citizens versus to green card holders.
And that's not my argument. That's the United States Supreme Court, going back to the early 1940s.
So help me understand this then. If leading protests for an organization that supports terrorists are not grounds to revoke a visa, if that is not enough supporting terrorism to revoke your visa, what is?
Material support of terrorism, which would mean providing financial support, fundraising, working in coordination with Hamas. And let me say, Leland, that the government has not said what evidence it has. It certainly has not come forward with any such evidence.
Because I'm looking here at the State Department guidelines. Endorses or espouses terrorist activity. Endorses.
Right. But that's...
If you're chanting the same... Hold on, let me ask you a question. If you're chanting the same slogans as terrorists, if you are calling their terrorism justified, if you're calling for violence in your chants, how is that not endorsing terrorism?
The statute may well apply to what he said. The argument is that the statute is unconstitutional.
Okay, so that's it. Okay.
It's unduly vague. It's overly broad. It gives the government too much discretion to punish people simply for having certain ideas rather than actually bringing about actions that contribute to terrorism.
So the argument may be, we may be making two different arguments. One, the argument is under the statute, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, has the right to make this designation. And you'd agree with that?
I think so, yes.
Okay, so then the next argument is this statute is unconstitutional.
Exactly. And that has never been adjudicated. This statute has very, very rarely been invoked. And in fact, through some excellent work that was done by the Knight Institute at Columbia University, a legal memo from the Department of Homeland Security lawyers in the first Trump administration was obtained, in which they argued that this statute is likely unconstitutional.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
All right. So what it sounds like you're setting up is this ends up at the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court may not take the case. It may just be decided by a lower court. But yes, it will definitely be challenged under the Constitution.
And if it got to the Supreme Court, given the Supreme Court's makeup, your prediction would be what?
It's always hazardous, but this court has, by and large, been very supportive of very robust free speech protections. And that, interestingly enough, that's true for justices across the ideological spectrum. Conservative and liberal, they all agree that controversial speech is...
So even though, and I'll just put a button on this, the argument from the administration is when he signed up for this visa and for his green card, he agreed to the rules. And what you're saying is, even if he agreed to the rules and the rules he can argue are unconstitutional, he doesn't have to abide by.
The ultimate rule is the United States Constitution.
It's the rule book.
And the First Amendment says Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech.
Okay.
So it's a restraint on Congress. It's not a benefit.
I knew I was outclassed.
Only to American citizens.
You might have convinced me, which is really irritating. Thank you very much.
So much.
It's great to have you. This is great conversation. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.